thing is, it's not about sharpness.
Okay.
So it's not about cutting the glass. It's just about hitting that point nice and firmly and following through.
Okay.
Okay?
Ready, here
so
we
you go 1, 2.
Hello, 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 hello. Yep, check it. If you have something going on in your life, no matter what it may be, capture the moment and share it with other people. You never know who's going to watch your video and who may get inspired by it, who may get motivated by it, or who may just reminisce about something that happened in their life that's similar to what you got going on. Most importantly, it's just, we're in the times where it's a whole lot going on, and out of everything that we are doing, sometimes it's nice to watch other people. You know what I mean? And we have the access to do it. So, yo, check it. This video right here, anytime I see someone who's learning how to ride a skateboard, I have to stop and watch it. Because there was a time when I used to sit on the sidelines, sit on the curb, and watch the people who could afford to have a skateboard. Same way with BMX bikes and things like that. And toys. So whenever I got the chance to do it, it created a great memory. So here it is. I'm gonna watch this video, and I'd like for you to watch it with me. All right, let's go.
It's all good.
Skateboard to learn a new skill. One thing that I learned to do off camera is be able to climb a board without holding on to something. And I know how to do this. That's basically it. And this whatever this is. Hey! Stop.
Okay, so most definitely memories come to mind, and I spent a lot of time in my room, and I didn't have. Anyway, I spent a lot of time in my room, and I remember walking the board. You step on the tail end, to raise up the front end, and you take your left foot. Okay, you press down with your right foot on the tail end. You take your left foot and you push the board forward, bring it down, and you're at an angle. Then you take your left foot, you press down to bring the tail end up, and you take your right foot and push it forward. And when you set it down, you'll see that you had moved about an inch or two forward. And you just keep doing it back and forth, and you're just walking on a board. You know what I mean? But it takes time. So there's a lot of other little tricks and stunts that I was trying to learn while I was in the house quietly without scuffing up the floor to keep myself from getting in trouble. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's go. remember running, and the board would be sitting there, just sitting there. So I would run and jump on it, thinking that that's how I was going to get some speed. But then I had to learn the hard way that, nah, that wasn't the way you do it. I remember I was so in love with my skateboard. I had like two. The very first one I had was this real skinny skateboard. It was no longer than, than my shin. Real skinny one. It was wood. And my second one was a real skinny one. It was plastic. And it was real flexible in the center of it. And I couldn't believe I was getting away with it. But as far as turning, I could barely lean forward or lean back because it would turn so easily. But those are the boards that I've really learned how to do my stunts on. And then when I got to the wider and longer boards, oh man, it was on and popping.
Nope.
Also, during the 80s, there was a lot of inspiring movies like Gleaming the Cube. And, it was the breakdancing era. There was an era for roller skates. There was an era for skateboarding, BMXing. So, surfer movies, you'll see that they'll be on their skateboards skating to the beach. You know what I'm saying? Skateboard on the ground, and they'll be holding their surfboards. Yeah, I mean, it was some cool shit. But yeah. One important rule, and I'm gonna be quiet. And I learned this the hard way, but I'm glad I learned it. And it was how to fall. You know what I mean? To absorb the fall. I usually skated around grass, so that way whenever I was feeling like I was gonna fall, I would steer towards the grass. That way I just fall in the grass. Or gravel. Because that way, if I needed to stop, I just hit those rocks and I'd stop, all right? being around 3 or 4 other kids that like skateboard was fun as hell. Especially when you had these races, when you lay on your stomach and you know what I mean, and you race downhill on your stomach. That shit was fun. Hey, y'all see that? That was cool as fuck. Man, I'm telling you, memories. Yeah. I remember that shit. I'll be going to checking the wall like, did I make a mark? Did I put a hole in it? The next day I moved to the running and jumping on a skateboard, and I was actually doing well. Started off small and slowly got the hang of it. Then I finally had my first fall. I'm sad I didn't catch it on camera. I fell straight on my back. The board slipped off and I fell on it and it snapped in half. Oh shit. I'm quite sad that my practice was cut short, but I really enjoy learning and I was actually having fun. I'm gonna buy a new one so that one day I can be a pro. Not pro, but be able to skate as a hobby. It's not over yet. Fuck no, don't let it be over. Don't let it be over. Don't let it be over. You know, I think I had 3 to 4 boards all together, but I had them at different times because I would have one board and then something would happen to it, and then it would take some time, maybe a year or two, before I would get another board, and something would happen to it. You know what I mean? And it was like that with all of my boards, all of them. It's crazy, but I remember being in school and I had stole this kid's little handheld skateboard, like a toy. I think it was on a keychain or something like that. And I used to play with it in class, play with it in the car, like when my parents were in the car, because they'd be like, "Where'd you get that from? We didn't buy it for you. Out there stealing again? Get your ass in the house." But another thing that a friend told me was skateboarders gotta have a friend that rides the bike, because when you go long distances, you're gonna get tired of kick push. And all you need to do is just hold on to the back of the seat. You know what I mean? And that came in handy so much because in the '80s that was the time when a lot of us kids, we'd run the neighborhood, and next thing you know, we're 2 or 3 neighborhoods away. You know what I'm saying? And we learned how to measure distance and time so we can go further in shorter time, so that way we can get back and beat the lights. You know what I mean? Lights come on, yeah, it's got to be on your porch basically. But no, this young lady right here is motivating, inspiring, most definitely. For a guy like me, I like to reminisce and I like to try to inspire other people to live life. Um, and if you have disabilities, um, I mean, you got to feel everything that you feel, the good and the bad, but internalize it. Be careful with holding so much in. I know that bitching and moaning helps some people, and the other people are like, man, it's not going to help not unless you can really make a change. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to life, Makuna Matata, well, not, I'm talking about the cartoon version. Look up what Makuna Matata really means. You know what I mean? And it might give you a smile, something to laugh about. But come check out this young lady's channel. She has some videos on there that I want to see. So I want to give her a shout out. I want to thank her for posting this video. And I'm hoping she continues to post more. And like I said at the beginning, when something is going on in life, capture it. You know what I'm saying? Not only can you look back at it yourself, but you never know who will watch it if you post it and what it might do for them in their lives. Um, I have a disclaimer. It goes like this. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the dumbest either. I've, I've done research on some things, and I have a lot more things that I want to do research on. I just don't trust the resources I gotta get the information from, because there are people out here who don't want other folks to gain knowledge. So they taint the stories. They glorify the trash, and they leave us with emptiness to put into our brains. So anyway, what I need you to do is question everything that I'm talking about. Do your research on things that I'm talking about. Form your own opinion about things that I'm talking about. Most importantly, share your opinion with other people. Because you never know when someone is going to come across your opinion, and it's going to help them out one way or another, because it's fucked up to feel like you're alone in a crowded room. So I say all that to say this. You know, my channel was about growth, and I think it's cool to be realistic. And I know that we need to escape reality sometimes, but we got to be careful what we watch and what we listen to, because people in entertainment don't give a fuck about us. They don't want our minds to grow. They don't want our souls to soar. But it's up to us, it's our responsibility to feed our minds something that's going to nurture our spirit. And then on top of that, it's our responsibility to help the next person, you know what I mean, a stranger or a friend or family. Just help someone else get to a level of thinking that you might be on. At least give them a chance. You know, it's one thing that people can't say sometimes, and that is, I didn't know that. Because most times we had heard an example of it or the gist of it, but we just didn't follow through with the information and did research to get more educated on whatever, you know, we had heard. It's like, that sounds familiar, but, you know, nah, I really didn't. It's like, nah, we don't have any excuses. When it comes down to skateboarding, though, this has been going on for over 50 years. This sport, this hobby. And it's good to see that men and women are keeping it alive. Boys and girls are keeping it alive. It's very motivating. It's a great way to escape the horror that's in life. You know, you engage into something that's going to help you feel good about yourself. At the end of the day, accomplishments. You know, when you know that you tried something that, you know, it took you to really accomplish it. Something that you didn't give up on. You know, you feel good about yourself. And you motivate others, you just don't realize it. You never know when you could be out in the street doing what you do, and it could be, you know, 10 people watching you from time to time. And one or two of those people might sit back and be like, man, I want to do that one day. Or they might sit back and be like, man, I remember where I used to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? So get out there, have fun, live life, stay positive, stay motivated, And even if you have a bad day, live in that moment and have the serenity to come and take something from that moment. Something that you can actually, nurture your spirit with, something you can feed your soul with, something good. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. You have a good day. You have a good night. You have a good morning. Peace.